Welcome back to the 210 show. Today we got a pretty good pod for you, but before we get into what these topics are, let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves in alphabetical order. Go ahead,
This is Angry Joey.
I am the hater with facts.
Mr. Raider.
It's Tony.
And I'm Wu Pig Suey.
All right, so this pod we're gonna go over some college football, some MLB, some NBA opening night, and some NFL recap. So, without further ado, Boo Pig, lead us on.
All right. So it was a pretty exciting week in college football. We had a lot of losses in the top 25. The first one I want to talk about was the Miami Hurricanes. They lost to Louisville 24-21. They went into this game ranked number 2.
Shocking.
And
That was a Thursday game, right? Or
yeah,
Yes.
Thursday or Friday, right?
Friday night.
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday
that
night.
was that was a stunner.
Yeah. Miami's quarterback, Carson Beck, threw 4 interceptions, including Uh, the last one with 32 seconds remaining, which sealed the game. Louisville, they jumped to a 14-0 lead and held on despite Miami's rally, and they held Miami to 63 rushing yards during the game. So it was a big shocker. I thought Miami was going to go undefeated until they got to the ACC championship. So it was a big shocker for me. I didn't expect something like
Yeah,
that.
I thought they were really good. You know, that
Mm.
their defensive and offensive lines are pretty dominant, so I was surprised.
Yeah, so they dropped down to number 9. I still think they're really good.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll talk about it. There's only 5 teams in the top 25 that are still undefeated. So
Yep.
it
Well, the
seems
thing
like
about
every team's taking their lumps.
And
Yeah,
so
but
for the audience, who are those undefeated teams?
Sure, it's Ohio State, who looks like a behemoth this year.
Yeah.
Indiana, they're ranked number 2 right now in the country. Texas A&M ranked number 3. So all 3 of those teams are 7-0. You have Georgia Tech at 7-0. They're ranked number 7. And then you have BYU that's also 7-0, ranked number 11. So BYU, they don't play really hard teams. So I'm not too impressed with that. But
They'll still lose.
Georgia Tech's had some good wins. They're in the top 10 because of it. And then up at top, you've got Texas A&M, Indiana, and Ohio State, who are all looking really good. Texas A&M, I think, has the hardest road to get to stay undefeated going forward. But
Yeah.
So what are their biggest tests? A&M, that is.
they still have to play. They play LSU next.
Well,
Missouri,
LSU didn't they kind of show their ass this last week?
they did. They lost. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So
I'm pretty sure
LSU.
you'll get to that. But
Yeah. LSU, Missouri, South Carolina, and Texas to end their last game.
That's going to
Oh,
be a hell of
man.
a game. Everybody's going to be looking forward to watching that one.
Oh, yeah.
2 Texas teams just going to war. And I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, I would have thought that I mean, Texas leading them up to the OU game, Texas was going to get their ass whipped by A&M, but who knows now, man? I mean, I think it's anybody's game at this point.
Yeah. It's and the thing about we'll talk about Texas in a little bit because even though they won, they squeaked by. So they're one of the games that I was going to talk about. So all right. So next we have Nebraska ended up playing Minnesota and lost 24-6. They were ranked number 25 going in to an unranked Minnesota. So obviously they fell out of the top 25. But the Minnesota's running game was good. They rushed for 148 yards and a touchdown. They held Nebraska to 2 field goals. So it was kind of a beatdown. The next game, this one was actually really good. The Ole Miss played Georgia. So they were both ranked. Ole Miss was number 5 coming in. Georgia was number 9. Ole Miss was undefeated at the time. And Georgia's quarterback threw for 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to rally the team. Ole Miss, they led for most of the game, but they couldn't close. Their offense slowed down while Georgia's defense made some critical stops. So it was just one of those classics. They were trying not to lose at the end of the game, and Georgia made them pay. So Georgia
They
pulled
pulled
out
they pulled
another
the
big win.
Shanahan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Georgia is now number 5 in the country, and Ole Miss dropped down to number 8. So they're still both in contention for playoffs, but,
Yeah.
it
Dude,
which
the
makes
SEC
sense.
just beating each other up, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Here's one that shocked me. Texas Tech lost to Arizona State,
Yes.
26 to
Yeah,
22.
crazy.
Definitely. That was a
Yeah,
minor.
I showed my ass earlier in one of the other pods where I said that I thought Texas Tech was going to go undefeated for the rest of the season, and they had to go and show their ass. So it's
That didn't
Arizona's.
last long.
Any
Yeah,
given Saturday, dude. Any given
yeah,
Saturday.
it's true.
That,
Yeah,
that ass was dirty.
Arizona's quarterback. He threw for 319 yards and I believe 3 touchdowns. He was killing them. Texas Tech only had 700 or 276 yards total. It's their season low, so they just couldn't match up to Arizona State. They had their number
Yeah.
this week.
And Arizona State jumped up into the top 25 because of it. They're ranked 24th now.
Yep. So makes sense. It makes sense when you beat the number 7 team in the country.
Yeah, hell yeah. And they were
Yeah.
looking pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how
All
long
right.
that lasts, though.
So here's one that shocked no one, I think, at this table. The LSU Tigers lost to the Vanderbilt Commodores,
Not
31-24.
I
Yes,
called that.
baby.
I told you that shit.
Yes.
Yeah. LSU went in ranked number 10, while Vanderbilt was ranked number 17. Vanderbilt's quarterback Diego Pavera, he threw for 160 yards, ran for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. LSU's offense, they had major opportunities but failed to convert, and the Tigers had big plays. They had 225 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, but they couldn't finish drives, and Vanderbilt just dominated the time of possession. So
Yeah, they ran the ball down their throats, man.
Yeah, they did.
they just ran it down their throats, and they played a good game. I really like that their quarterback, that Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing on Sundays. So it was a good game, and now I believe I'm not sure where Vanderbilt is now.
They're
in the
number 10.
ranking. They're
How
number
did
10.
How did Kelly
So-
take the loss?
So here's a question. Does this put Brian Kelly on the hot seat, do you think? I mean, maybe not for
You
this
stole my
season, but for
thunder,
next-
dude.
I mean, okay, maybe this is wishful thinking, of course, but I'm just kind of wondering, I mean, do you think that, because that was a pretty nasty loss. Do you think that Brian Kelly's in any kind of danger at this point?
Hell
I
yeah.
personally think that it's too early because this is only his second year or third year.
No, this is third year.
Third year, is it? Okay. Yeah, I still think it's a little too early, and I mean they are still in the top 25. It's not like a complete meltdown like at Florida or something like that.
Okay.
But I say that, and then if you watched like the SEC shorts this week, they were clowning LSU, where LSU was like standing out on the street corner, like trying to pawn their coach off on Penn State. So
Well, the only
kinda
reason why
funny.
I ask is because, I mean, he's not exactly the most popular coach, even in LSU. They have a guy in our office that
He hates him. Oh,
he
God.
absolutely he's a huge LSU fan, but he absolutely despises Kelly, and even more than I do, I think, and that's saying something, being a Notre Dame fan. So I'm just kind of wondering, at what point do the fans actually want to see this guy go away?
Oh,
Yeah,
I-
LSU has like a culture around it, and they're always their coaches have kind of epitomized that culture of being country and Southern, and just having a certain mentality, and
Right, and he's
he
like,
doesn't fit it at all.
he absolutely is the epitome of that. I mean, he's the complete polar opposite.
Yeah,
What was it that they were actually saying? That, I mean, something about lemonade or something like that. Oh gosh, how did they put it? They said that lemonade was almost more
spicy than him.
yeah, spicy than him, something like that. Yeah,
God.
exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah,
He just does not seem to fit. I don't understand. But anyway,
yeah.
I was just asking a question.
So just real quick on that, right? You look at the LSU coaches, right? And the previous 3 coaches that they had, right? Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Orgeron. And all 3 of them won a championship for LSU. And the last 2, Les Miles and Ed Orgeron, got fired. So of those 3 coaches, those legendary coaches in LSU history, if they can get pink slips, I mean, Nick Saban didn't, but we know what happened with him. But If those other two, if they can get pink slips, and Brian Kelly still has not been to a CFP. He hasn't been to a CFP, and he's still top 10 in not only recruiting, but also NIL spending. So you put all that stuff together, and they play Texas A&M at home this Saturday at night. If they lose that game, he getting the pink slip. I guarantee you that.
No, not till next year. Maybe next year, sure. But I'm or Whoopig. I think that's a little too early for them. Because who are they going to
Yeah.
replace him with? Franklin? I mean, Franklin's, from all accounts, I read, might just be doing the Florida thing. I don't know.
Look, I'm willing to put. Hey, whoever wanted to take this bet, I'll put a lunch bet on it. I'm guaranteed he is not surviving to next year. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. There's too many embarrassing losses, man.
I'll take that bet.
Yeah,
Cool. That's one. Anybody else want some?
Nah,
None
nah,
for me, man. I'm not going to take that bet. I mean, for sheer lack of wanting it to see happen.
I mean, I think LSU is one of those programs. They're not a blue blood, but they're right there outside of it. They're like that next tier down from a blue blood, but they think that they're a blue blood. So
Yeah.
they
Like Auburn.
yeah,
Yep.
they're just, and I mean, they're a big time program. Don't get me wrong. So they do expect results.
And LSU
So-
has a lot of voices out there in the media too. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, let them take an L this week. Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see who's right.
Yeah, we'll see. So the next, Utah lost to BYU. So Utah was ranked number 23, while BYU was ranked number 15. It was a tight rivalry type game, but Utah just couldn't close up on BYU. And so BYU keeps its momentum. They're in the top 10 now.
Utah
So-
plays Colorado next, right?
Not sure. Let me look.
That should be. I hope Utah. They can't sleep on Colorado. They might be able to pull up.
No one cares.
Like
Maybe.
I said, I've stopped watching Colorado.
Yes.
So.
Yes, they do play Colorado next. But it's a home game, so I mean,
We'll see what happens.
yeah. I mean, Colorado's quarterback don't scare me. Like,
No, absolutely not. No, I was just saying that because Utah was ranked, so they're coming off of that loss to BYU. They better do something. They better not lose this game to Colorado.
Yeah. All right. And then the last game there were two more games we wanted to talk about. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish were able to defeat the Trojans. Was that this week or was that last week?
It was
That was
last
this
week.
week?
Or It was this last Saturday, yes. And so my Irish were able to take on the Trojans, and whip them. But to be fair, it was actually a really, really good contested game. Everybody was actually thinking that it was going to be a blowout, but no. The Trojans, they played them tough. They really did. They actually made a game out of it. So hats off to USC. They played us good, but alas for them, they just came up short.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last pod. That's why I was confusing myself. I was like, was that this week that happened? But yeah, it was the Catholics versus the condoms. So it was.
Yeah, but Raiders on now, so he can, he could give his take.
Yeah.
so-
what do you think of that game?
I really enjoyed the game. I really did. It was like one of those ones that kept you on the edge of your seat. And if you're a fan of college football, you like seeing games like this. That's just my first reaction.
Exactly.
My second
So
reaction.
when we were actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I got to throw this one out there. So the last podcast that we actually had, we were doing it during the USC Notre Dame game, and I completely lost focus. I just completely zoned out. So my apologies to the audience. But it was just one of those games where I should have just turned the TV off. But it's like watching a train wreck. You can't. You just can't. So it was one heck of a game. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Raider. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. I was actually out on a date night with my wife, and she was letting me watch the game a little bit while we're out to dinner. So, she understood how
terrible date
important and
night.
invested I was. No, we had a good time. I still got my wet at the end of the night, so I had a
Oh,
good time.
gosh.
Oh,
damn. But
Oh my God.
all right. Yeah,
Oh
thank
my
you very
God.
much for that TMI.
hey,
Yeah,
we're adults. This is a rated R explicit podcast. We're gonna be okay.
We're gonna have to edit that out. We gotta edit that out.
So like, but I was upset because towards the last, like in the fourth quarter, like where we needed our defense to kind of step up. I'm actually pleasantly surprised of USC's defense this year. It started off shaky, but they seemed to find ever since the Oklahoma game, we seemed to kind of find out the identity a little bit. But man, Notre Dame put that to the test in the fourth quarter, and we ran out of gas.
Well,
I'm happy with
especially
our
in the first
quarterback.
half.
I'm happy with our running backs. I'm happy with our wide receivers, and
Just not
we'll
your
see what
defense.
happens.
Well,
It's
especially
still
in
a
the
work
first
in
half,
progress.
plus they were playing in South Bend, so, I mean, I think
Yeah.
that, you're playing against in a hostile crowd, and yes, you're absolutely right. I
And
think
it's
that
a rivalry game, so it's
yeah,
different.
it's a rivalry game, anything can
Kind
happen,
of.
I mean, that's the worst, I mean, but the defense, they actually did come up to play, but they were just slowly overwhelmed, I mean, but at the end of the day, it was a fun game to watch. It really was.
Okay. You two are pissing me off. I cannot believe you two
I
just
know.
had a rivalry game. Notre Dame literally ran the ball down y'all throats like y'all had no confidence at all. And y'all just being all cordial and gentlemanly like I'm watching an
You-
What
episode
happened?
Hold
of
on,
damn
hold on a
Bridgerton or
second.
something.
Well,
Yeah.
I can
What the
explain
hell
it.
is this?
I can explain
you
to
know
you,
what's funny?
hater. The reason is
You guys
because
played good. No,
USC.
you guys played good.
It's because USC has lost 7 of the last 8 games, so it's not really that big of a rivalry anymore.
Right. It's not, and that's why. And I can admit that because first of all, Lincoln Riley is
didn't
now
say it.
2-9. He's 2-9 against ranked opponents, and the defensive shit followed him from Oklahoma. So I'm realistic about that. But let me just point something out. Y'all keep using the phrase condoms and rubbers. Well, let me tell you something. Each one of you fuckers have used one, and it has saved your life, whether child support or from STDs. So you're welcome. So don't talk about shit that saved your life. How about that?
No,
So
hey,
I-
okay, I'll give you this though. When I said LSU is in a blue blood. USC is most definitely a blue blood. They're one of the like top 5, 6 teams in the country historically.
But never win.
So no, well, I mean they have in the past, right? But they've hit a slump. So my question is to the USC, like, do you think it's time to change off of Lincoln Riley? Like,
No.
what's the game plan to get USC back to the the big leagues, so to speak?
well, they should have stayed in the Pac-12. They were going to do that.
Well, the Pac-12 is no more. So
Yeah. No, they had to get out of that. But answer your question, no, I think we need to keep him because number one, who are we going to replace him with?
yeah.
There was some talk out there about early on in the season about Gruden going after John Gruden, but I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do any of that.
No, that's not a good idea.
But
So I am actually gonna, one thing that was actually I'm going to use some words that were actually spoken a couple of podcasts ago, where how do I say, it didn't feel like that big of a victory. Isn't that what was said there? Angry, or excuse me, hater with facts. Something to the effect that
Yeah, there was some very disrespectful tone coming from the Southern California side of the pod here.
this
Yeah.
isn't really much of a victory per se
Yeah.
to celebrate or something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Very
I don't know
disrespectful.
what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
But-
in all seriousness, I mean, it's Notre Dame was expected to win that game, and they did what they were supposed to do. And, but we've seen upsets all year. So, I mean, it could have gone either way. I
Well-
mean, if USC would have actually pulled together a few other plays, I mean, it could have gone completely the other way. Who knows? I mean, once again, it is a rivalry game, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, last point on this. I just want to emphasize that USC has won 113 NCAA team championships and ranks third most in the nation. Carry on.
No, I like I said, that's why I wasn't joking around. Like if you're putting a Mount Rushmore together of college football universities, USC is up there. So like
Yeah.
historically, they're one of the biggest programs in the country. Unfortunately for you, like the past like 10, 15
12
years
years.
or so,
Yeah,
21 years.
Yeah, it's been a while since you guys have been up there with the Ohio States and the
Yeah,
Alabamas and shit. So
you're right.
now
You're
that's not
right.
to say you can't get back there because Texas was in the same boat. They were a
Yep.
non-factor for a long time until they got the right coach.
And they have a
So
USC former coach as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. So if I were USC, I would be going and like chartering like 5 dump trucks full of cash and going to Clark Lee's house, the head coach at Vanderbilt. Yeah, like the head coach of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's got the I just want to Vanderbilt is in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
crazy.
any coach that could do that, that dude is a hell of a coach. So,
Well, that's how James Franklin got his job at Penn State, right?
well, I still think
Yeah.
James Franklin is a hell of a coach. And James Franklin is going to be the head coach of another Power 5 school with the quickness, whether
Oh
it be
yeah.
Florida or somebody like that. So,
Yeah,
all
they're even
right.
talking about Michigan State possibly too.
So speaking of, Bill Napier was fired since we last talked, and he was the head coach at Florida. I was surprised that they fired him after a win versus Mississippi State, but that was that was it. His overall record was 22-23 at Florida.
Oh
And
damn.
you can't do that at Florida. You can't be 500 at Florida and keep your job. Hell, you
Yeah.
can't be 500 at Arkansas and keep your job. That's why we fired our coach. So you definitely can't do that at Florida. So yeah, it was a disappointing experience with him. So he moves on. So Florida is added to the list of coaching searches. So he'll be right there with Penn State. And then the last team that I want to talk about, and they won the game. However, it was the Texas Longhorns. They played Kentucky, and it took overtime for Texas to beat Kentucky 16-13. This Texas went in ranked number 21. They are now ranked number 22. So they
They're just
won,
not
but
very good.
no. And once again, um, Mr. QB was not. He had a horrible game. So I
If they were,
believe.
if this
You
was any
understand the
other team,
spots?
like put another name on them, they would not be ranked. You know what I mean? Like they would
Yeah,
just,
it's only
it
name
would just be a
recognition.
regular
Yeah.
team.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So Arch Manning, I think they only had 179 total yards in that game.
Holy
So it
snap,
was.
terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Like 47 yards rushing, 132 yards passing.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
Gee.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm not sold on Arch Manning. So we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to point that out, that my theory on Arch isn't dead yet. Just because they beat Oklahoma, that could just be a blip. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But they're currently ranked number 22. They're not anywhere near close to being in the playoffs. Notre Dame, by the way, congratulations, Notre Dame. They're the highest ranked 2-loss team right now at number 12. So they're right there in the mix to make the
Oh,
playoffs.
so they
this
went
year.
up 4 spots. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they're ranked number 12.
That's a
So,
surprise, to be honest with you. I mean, especially, after, beating USC, who, what were they, like 22?
They were
or
ranked.
something like
Yeah,
that?
they were ranked though.
yeah, you beat a
They were
ranked
ranked.
opponent. So
Well, yeah, do they take into consideration contested games or rivalry
They-
games or anything like that?
they say
They
they
will.
do.
they
Yeah,
will.
they
But here's the
say that
thing. So,
rivalries count for more.
yeah,
Okay.
just keep in mind. Then 2 weeks we'll have the first college football playoff rankings.
Yeah,
We'll
this
have
is
that,
just the
and
AP.
that will tell us where everybody where everybody's standing is and who's on the bubble and things like that.
But
But
usually that initial one, they there's a couple outliers, but usually it falls pretty much in line with the AP top 25 to a
Okay,
certain.
so let me ask you here's another one about Texas. Do you see them getting into the playoffs?
No, not happening.
no,
No.
I don't either. I mean,
I mean
wow.
they got Vanderbilt, they
Now-
got
now,
Georgia,
yeah,
and Texas A&M. Like,
Yeah, now if they win all those games, if they beat Vandy, Georgia, and Texas A&M, you're damn right, they're probably going to make it.
Yeah,
They'll
and
make
they,
the, but
and then they
they're
got
not going to
Arkansas
barely,
in
win.
they
between.
couldn't even hardly beat Kentucky.
Yeah,
Right.
they're not going to win all 3 of those games.
No.
I mean, now Woo Pig. I mean, let's be real. Your Razorbacks has a chance against this Texas team. Let's just be real, dude.
Yeah, I mean, of all the teams Arkansas plays the hardest, it would be Texas. We used to be in the
So,
Southwestern Conference with them, and there's a lot of diehard, not hatred. We don't hate them like Texas A&M hates them, right?
Right.
We just
Yeah.
love to play and beat the shit out of them. So, and we do so regularly. So the
what other teams do you guys have on your schedule? You have okay, so
the Arkansas.
yeah, Arkansas.
Let me look at our schedule real quick. We have LSU, Texas, Missouri, and Mississippi State. So we detest LSU and we detest Texas. So we'll be motivated for those 2 games.
If
Missouri
they
is
can
a
get,
new rivalry, but
I think that if they can get past Texas, I think they might sweep.
maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
that would be
Who gives
fun.
a shit?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
we
It don't matter.
Besides
Even if
who,
hey, hey,
hey,
hey,
nobody
screw
cares.
you, Tony.
I think that's
Just
the
rattle off
Tony's
the
theme of the night.
Pal.
Who
Yeah.
gives a shit?
All right. Well, that's my take on college football. Interesting so far what we've got, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes. So
Cool.
We got a pretty interesting weekend coming up as well, if you think about it, some
Yeah.
of these things. So
mhm,
more to talk about. Anything else on college football? Anybody?
that's it.
All righty. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and transition to MLB. Angry Joey, take us away.
And well, here we are. It's World Series week. I mean, who would have thought that it would have come down to this? I know that we actually had our takes earlier in the a few podcasts ago as to who's going to actually do what, who's going to end up where. I know that that Seattle was the biggest pick for the AL, but and the Brewers. I mean, I actually even went against my Dodgers, thinking that the Dodgers were going to succumb to the Brewers for the NL. But here we are. Now is just the polar opposite. We touched a little bit about the Dodgers last week, or excuse me, last podcast as far as what Ohtani did and the historic moments that he actually made. So I don't want to delve into that much more,
Yeah,
but
let's talk about that AL series because it was one for the ages, man. It was
the AL series,
awesome.
amazing. And Tony, I'm going to give the baton up to you on this one, buddy.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just great baseball, right? That's what you want. And ALCS, the top 2 teams in the AL, battling out to game 7. It looked early in the series like Seattle was going to run away with it. Toronto fought back hard. And then it looked again like, oh, maybe Seattle is going to pull it out in the end anyway. But no, Toronto just would not relent. That game 7 was amazing. That home run by George Springer in the 7th inning, a 3-run shot in the 7th inning at ALCS,
Yeah.
down 2 to put your team up 1. I mean, come on.
It was
Talk about
magnificent.
clutch.
Okay, so the Mariners, to put it into perspective, they were up 2-1 or 2-0,
Yeah.
and then of course Toronto, they came out with a 15-1 blast, and or 15-2 was it? Yeah, either way, they kicked the shit out of the Mariners in game 3, and then the Mariners they actually I think they went up. They took game 4, and then so the game it was 3-2, and then Toronto, they just went on a tear. And then game 7 was just absolutely magnificent. But and then Springer, when he actually hit that freaking go ahead home run, even still leaving eight outs for the Mariners to actually pull it even, just couldn't get it done. So I mean, what do we have here now? We have Toronto. They is it their pitching? Is it their hitting? And then you have the Dodgers. What's their bullpen going to look like? What's their hitting going to look like? What kind of
M
version of Ohtani?
May
are
not
we gonna
matter
get?
if they get the kind of innings out of Snell and Yamamoto, Glass now. Like, if they get the innings that they got throughout the whole playoffs, then it's not gonna
Yeah,
matter.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
Gosh, they're gonna be tough to beat, man.
yeah. So, of course, everybody knows on this pod that I'm a Dodgers fan. So of course, obviously, I'm pulling for the Dodgers. But by God, I think that, and I think we were kind of talking a little bit about this offline, that I want to see a hell of a series. I want to see a back and forth. I don't want to see a sweep. I really don't. I want to see a struggle. I want to see a challenge. I mean, that's what makes good baseball to me.
Yeah, I agree. We don't want to see. Nobody wants to see the damn Dodgers with their billion-dollar payroll go up in there and sweep them.
Don't be
I want a
disrespectful.
good. I'm just saying. I want a good series. Because really, I don't care. I don't hate either team. It would, and I'm kind of rooting for the Blue Jays because I like the Mets and I'm an NL guy. You guys beat us in this NLCS last year, so it's always cool to see a new team
What?
win.
You're pulling for the Canadians. Ugh, it's so
No,
un-American.
dude, the fucking team plays in Toronto, but every player on the team's American. You dipshit.
Okay, so that's
Still Canadian.
really honest. We have to put this in context. I actually threw that out there just to bait these guys, about, I'm not going for a bunch of fucking Canadians and stuff like that.
I'm pretty
next
sure their
thing I know,
paychecks
yeah,
still
I
American
Take
dollars.
your
So.
Moses. Take your Canadian bacon and fuck yourself.
It was awesome, man. I got so many FU Joeys. It was unbelievable. It was awesome. I mean,
As much as I have to disagree with you, Angry Joey, man. Like you say you want a series and stuff like that. I'll put it like this. It's all about the have. If if Ohtani continues what he just did in game 4, if he does that in this series, I don't care if it's a sweep or not. Because at this point,
so
I'm all about seeing history here.
here's the problem. The problem is that Ohtani did what's never been done.
Yep.
Can he repeat that?
No, and you can't. They shouldn't and can't expect him to.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no,
And
I'm not
and I think-
expecting it, but I'm not doubting that it can't happen.
Well, I think that you
Right.
actually said it best on the second to last podcast when you said that he's kind of betting against himself at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, who else is his competition? The man
God.
is he's God, exactly. I mean, the man he's not
Zeus.
even human. I mean, what he did was just incredible. How the hell do you actually go into a playoff game, strike out 10 players, and hit 3 home runs in the same fucking year, same game? That
But
just doesn't happen.
But Angry Joey, the one thing about it is, this is now his moment to put his stamp on history books now in the World Series, because there's been a lot of naysayers out there in big media in the last, about his playoff performances so far outside of Game 4 of the NLCS. So now
Okay.
he's in the World Series now, and we don't have many highlight or big moments from him yet. So now this is his moment to do that.
Yeah, but that's a really shitty thing to do. I mean, because the guy's a superstar. I mean,
Yes.
he's hitting a home. Oh, okay, so let's say that he goes a game without hitting a home run. All of a sudden, he's in a slump. Come on,
No. No. It doesn't. You don't have to have bomb home runs and stuff like that. No. But if you're getting on base, if you're getting some RBIs in there, like Freddie Freeman, like, yes, he was hitting home runs, but he was also cranking runs over and being a prime contributor. Like,
okay,
he wasn't
fair
a
point,
hindrance.
fair
You know what I
point.
mean?
Okay, so you're actually looking for consistency as a okay. So yeah,
Yes.
to be fair, yes.
Well, I mean,
Ohtani,
he's only
he
played a certain amount of
wasn't-
games in the World Series. You know what I mean? Like, baseball's
Yeah.
weird, dude. Like, that's too small sample size.
Yeah,
Way too small.
I agree. I agree there, Tony. I mean, I think that how many other teams are actually making it to the World Series?
Well, with the payroll that the Dodgers have, I
Doesn't
mean,
matter. You still have to execute. I don't care what you're paying these guys. I mean, you still have to execute. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, the
Yeah.
Yankees, they have just as big of a payroll, if not bigger.
No,
100%.
it's-
And where the hell are they?
Dodgers are first.
Well, yeah,
Now.
Dodgers are first.
but
Now they are.
like in early 2000s and stuff like that, the Yankees
Oh, yeah.
were always big spenders. But
Oh yeah.
but it's just, it creates, heavy the head that wears the crown, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it does create, unreasonable expectations, but when you see special players like this, you want to see them perform in the biggest spotlight. So, and this is his time. This is his moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move this conversation forward. What else you got on baseball?
Nothing else for me, man. Unless you have anything, Tony.
No, I mean, I just wanted to talk about the series and the AL series. It was amazing, and looking forward to a good World Series. Go Jays!
Ooh.
Look at you.
Wow.
Yeah. Toronto,
I
I think that they have a legit chance. I mean,
Yeah.
in the regular season, they had the best record in MLB. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think
It's gonna be-
and I was actually going. And for the record, I was actually going for the Mariners for a different purpose than what I was actually really reflecting. I wanted the Mariners to win because I wanted the Dodgers to have home run, or excuse me, a home field
home
advantage.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only reason.
Selfish.
I don't give a shit about whether they're Canucks or not. But whatever.
Whether it's international or not, an ass whooping can be an ass whooping. So
Yeah. So
It's the
either way,
universal
I think
language.
I actually so predictions here in the World Series. I'm gonna let you go first on this one,
Do-
Tony. What's your prediction?
Dodgers in 5.
Okay, I'm gonna say Dodgers in 6.
Yeah, Dodgers in 6. I'd agree with that.
I say Dodgers in 5.
As a red-blooded American, Dodgers in 4. There you go.
God bless you, Woo Pig.
That's awesome.
All right. Anyway, that's all I got. Sorry, guys.
Tony, would text anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So then what we're going to do is transition to NBA real quick and talk about last night's opening night. It was actually a pretty good opening night. Did not disappoint. I mean, there was some double overtime fireworks in OKC. The Lakers made their debut without LeBron James. First time in his season that he hasn't opened up a season. Or first time in his career he hasn't opened up a season. And then let's not forget MJ, the GOAT. Yes, I said the GOAT is on. He did his little NBC thing. So that's kind of cool to see him get on there and give a little interview and stuff like that. And it's going to be yeah, it's he's going to be doing this throughout the season, but I'll get to that more in a little bit. But let's first let's talk about this OKC game. So it was banner night for OKC since they won the chip, and it lived up to the hype. So like the defending champs, they survived the Rockets. It was 125, 124, double overtime. SGA, he did exactly what an MVP is supposed to do. He had 35 points, and he also nailed the game-winning free throws with 2.3 seconds left. And the way he got that foul call is he's just on another level. And so he sealed it. He sealed it on national TV. Now, honorable mention is for Alperen Sengun. I think that's how you say his name.
Shingun.
He was he was a monster. I mean, he had 39 points, 11 boards, 7
assists.
dimes, and he hit a career high 5 threes. But again, it wasn't.
He's a big guy, yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
people shouldn't sleep on played Houston, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Houston
So
Rockets.
people shouldn't sleep on that team. They're young and talented, and even Vegas likes them. They got like the 5th highest odds to win the championship. So, I know the Rockets haven't been good in the last however many years, but people need to be wise on them, man.
Well, they got KD now.
No.
Yeah, they got
Houston-
KD. Yeah.
Yeah, but Houston was a 2 seed last year. They are not slouches. Okay.
No.
No, they're not.
Yeah, their head coach is very good.
Yep.
And they did the wise thing. They moved out that bum, Jalen Green, got him up out of there to get KD. So,
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
so from what I understand, now I just read the bylines, so forgive me if I'm missing something, but I thought I read that KD kind of shit the bed last night.
He fouled out. He fouled out late. And,
Well, he also missed a few key.
yeah. But that's not the norm for KD, though.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not. But at the same time, I don't know.
Well, so I have an answer for that. Sorry, Rick.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Hit it with facts. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like KD, he was 0 for 4 from 3. But like other than that, I mean he was 9 for 16, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. So,
Not horrible.
look, it's not terrible, but it's whatever.
But key moments, right? And so I think if you take a couple quick hits from this game, like OKC, they forced 21 Rocket turnovers, right? And basically their defense is what kept them alive while SGA went hunting. That's the formula, and that's exactly what they did in the finals, which was pretty cool. So let me move to the next game: Warriors versus the Warriors versus the Lakers. It was Warriors 119, Lakers 109. Luka came out and did some Luka type shit. 43, 12, 8. I mean, this dude was ridiculous. 43 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. But Golden State controlled the second half. I mean, basically they relied on their vets, from what I'm understanding. And now Jimmy Butler, let me hit him real quick. Jimmy Butler looked fully in command. Like, this dude hit 31 points in 35 minutes. Oh, and by the way, he had a ridiculous 16 for 16 at the free throw line.
Yes,
How crazy is that?
Yeah,
that's
Jimmy
classic.
Butler's
That's
good.
classic Jimmy right there. That's my
fucking crazy.
hey. That's
Jimmy
Miami. That's
buckets.
Miami in the finals. The Jimmy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yep.
how
Jimmy
did how
buckets.
did how did our new players look? Like Marcus Smart and who else?
They looked
Man,
okay. So
look here.
the bench didn't
DeAndre
come through.
Ayton, was that the other one that came?
Bum.
I mean, yeah, he was, but now he's got that Laker magic on him. So
No, there ain't no damn.
Oh boy.
Oh my God! Don't you?
Don't trigger him this early, Whoopi. Let me get this segment out the way first, and then we'll trigger him.
when you put on that purple and gold, things change. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Raider. Go ahead.
All right. All right. Well, so anyway, that was the most free throws by a Warrior player in a season opener ever. And then can't forget about main man, lethal, the light-skinned assassin, Steph. He chipped in 23 points. And he also had one of those sit-down logo triples. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That old man still got it, boy. Light-skinned assassin. And then Jonathan Kuminga, he basically, man, he had all-round pop, man. Scoring burst, boards, playmaking.
And
He did a
almost a
really good
triple-double.
job in the third quarter. That kind of basically set the whole third quarter run and broke it open. But again, context matters, right? So in this game, LeBron James wasn't there. The team is kind of working in some new pieces like Luka. I mean, Austin Reeves is new. He's not new. He's been there. DeAndre Ayton, Marcus
Ayton's
Smart,
new,
as
yeah.
mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find chemistry on the fly. But what's bad about them is that they coughed up 20 turnovers and shot 25% from three. That's your ball game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially against the
So
Warriors.
That ain't good.
yeah, it was crazy, man. And then
We'll figure it out.
like
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's can't be any earlier.
and then so they kind of ended up the GOAT, he's doing his little interview on NBC, which is good to see him on there with Mike Tirico. They're gonna do this for, I guess, the whole season. He's gonna have about 3-4 minutes. They're gonna interview him, which I was under the impression before this broke out that he was gonna be doing commentary for games. I guess not.
Nah,
So
he ain't got
we'll
the patience
see.
for that.
We'll see. But and to kind of finish it up, just some other key notes here that I have written down is that what does all of this mean? Basically, did the Thunder, did they have ring night nerves? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they showed that they have the ability to win games and is carrying on from last year.
Like a really good
They-
team.
Correct. And remember, they don't have Jalen Williams and their stars were in foul trouble. So they still have championship DNA. Rockets, man, Sagoon looks good, man. He looks good. Size, skill, confidence. He looks good. And always with the Warriors adding Butler, it just Kerr gets a little bit closer to trying to get back to the championships. And then the Lakers, I don't know how long Luka can keep them afloat, man. It's just, how's this going to happen? With the
Well, he's gonna
turnovers,
need help. You know.
yeah, exactly right. And the spacing, I don't know how that's going to do. But
I didn't watch the game, but how did he look though with like his new physique and stuff?
He's ridiculous.
yeah,
Ridiculous.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I like
locked
it.
in. He's locked in.
Locked in
He's locked
Luca.
in.
That's what I like that. I like that. Hey, so did
So
anybody get a chance to watch the new like Inside the NBA show?
I think that's supposed to be tonight, actually.
Is that
yeah,
tonight? Is that the first
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, because
Yep.
ESPN, ESPN has the slate today.
Yeah, well, they
It
picked
was
them up, right?
NBC. Yeah, NBC was yesterday, and
Okay,
ESPN is today.
okay. I want to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
So overall, some really good basketball last night. SGA clutch, Luca electric, Butler surgical, MJ back on the screen. So what I'm curious now is I'm gonna throw this question over to y'all and to as well as to our audience. Hey, what's your hottest overreaction? I mean, Thunder repeat vibes? Are the Warriors back in the top tier? Or is this just game one noise for the Thunder? So let me know what y'all think. And that's it.
Well, so
Um,
I'm going to give my best take so far. I mean, I think that the Spurs have gotten exponentially better with players. Coaching, I think, is still a little suspect. We'll see. I mean, the loss of Pop was huge. But so they actually had a perfect preseason. Okay, they actually just smashed the Pacers a couple nights ago. But the real test starts tonight against the Mavericks, which is a very, very divisional rival. We'll see. I think that they actually have all the players in place that they need.
No
With
De'Aaron Fox. No
Wemby,
De'Aaron Fox,
Castle,
though.
all those guys. I mean, I think that they can be
That's
a
a good
very,
point,
very
Tony.
but we'll
Vegas
see.
doesn't like San Antonio for some
No,
reason.
not at all.
So
They're already they're already
pretty
unfavored.
low odds. Yeah.
Was like almost 10%. I mean, it's kind of weird. We'll see. I mean, yeah, they beat the shit out of the Pacers in the preseason. But that, well, what does that mean? I
Yeah,
mean,
nothing.
so
Nothing.
nothing. So but they're playing the Mavericks tonight. I mean, so they got a true test tonight.
Cooper Flag's debut. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
well,
gonna
yeah,
see.
Cooper Fly versus Wemby. And now here's the thing. Now, as far as the Spurs go, what I'm looking forward to is, especially with De'Aaron Fox out, their rookie. God, I can't remember his name now.
Oh, Harper, is it the kid from?
Yeah, Harper.
Yeah.
Yes, Dylan Harper. Yes. So
Rutgers,
yeah, I'm looking
right?
forward to seeing him. Yeah, he looks.
Oh,
I mean,
Rutgers
he's been looking good.
represent.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, oh my God, I'm looking at all the other players now, but
Castle.
yeah, Stephon Castle. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Stephon Castle. I'm looking forward to seeing him and seeing how he matures. Now, like you said, like the coach, I'll be honest, I watched him last year. He did not impress me at all. I'm very curious. What do the Spurs organization see in him? And what, now it's kind of hard when you have a 7'7" unicorn like Wemby. Like, you shouldn't be able to screw it up. But I'm still curious to see what he's capable of doing with this team, because I think they have reasonable expectations. They should be a playoff team, I think. But how do you manage Wemby? How do you manage his minutes and things like that? Like, that's going to be pretty important.
So that's
I think
that's
make some
actually a
noise.
very good. At what point does Wemby actually become some sort of alien, as they actually say, or does he become like a minute bull? I mean,
We're not going that
I
far.
think that becomes, I mean, my point is that yes, he has all the physical tools. He has the movement, he has the speed, he has the shot. I mean, he has the footwork. I mean, the guy's he's just bananas. But if he's poorly coached, that could be a problem. That's what I'm worried about. And so we're gonna find out. I mean, I think that if it comes down to the Spurs failing, it's gonna be a matter of coaching, not player.
And that's the other thing too. Like, they have Luke Cornett and Bismack Biyombo behind Wemby, so that doesn't give you a lot of confidence, right? So they've got to be very careful with him and how, make sure he can get through the season.
I
But,
would definitely like to see a lot more depth, but yeah, exactly.
See, I tend to disagree. I think that the Spurs handled their players with too many like the kitty gloves. They're not forcing the ball into Wemby's hands, or at least they weren't last year. Last year they sit him way too much. They didn't play him enough minutes, and they didn't run the offense through Wemby. They allowed him to like just kind of pick his moments when he would take over, and he's too young for that. He needs to get in there and get his lumps, I think. And with them having
I think I get it though, Pig. When you got a guy that's that big, wouldn't you want to give him rest and stuff? I mean, somebody that is that tall, that skinny, and I mean, that plays the kind of game that he plays, he is so susceptible to injury, don't you think?
Yeah,
I
like Liz Frank
don't
injuries.
yeah.
I mean, unless you think that he's gonna put on some weight and muscle and durability, at some point you're just gonna have to see whether or not he can hold up for an entire NBA season. So if he's
Yeah.
gonna stay the way he is now, like then he's either an NBA player that can make it a whole season or he's not. So
Yeah.
like I
That's a
don't
good
know.
point too.
Yeah, it's always annoyed me in the past how much they. Now I understood why they did it back in the day because they had a lot of great players that were older.
Mhm.
Back when they had their big 3 or big 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
But now they got a lot of young guys that should be out there, with as many minutes as you can put them. Not to the point where they get hurt, but especially with Wemby, their offense needs to run through them. Because when I've watched games with them last year where they ran the offense through Wemby, where he demanded the ball, they look good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've had the number 1 overall pick and then the 2nd overall pick with that Dylan Harper. So, it's
Yeah.
time to, nut up and let those young guns get out there and do some work, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I know this is the 210 show, and I know we're based out of San Antonio, but every time we mention Victor Wembanyama, I will always say he should have been a Piston. Thank you, NBA, for screwing us over. That's
You ain't
another.
wrong.
There he is.
You ain't
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the
but
lottery
anyway.
is dumb. I'll go on a rant on that
Conversation
at
for
some
another
point.
day.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
yes,
NBA
absolutely.
draft is stupid.
Yeah, I want to shit all over the lottery, but I'll wait. Okay, well that takes care of all the NBA stuff. So, all right, so let's go ahead and transition to NFL. Hater of facts, all yours, man.
All right. So week 7 is in the books, and we have our week 7 games of the week to recap now. So starting with the London game, it was the number 6 Rams going to the number 16 Jaguars, and they put a whooping on Trevor Lawrence and them, 35-7. Matthew Stafford put on a clinic, 21 for 33, 182, 5 touchdowns, 0
Mm.
interceptions.
Whoop that ass.
Meanwhile, yeah. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence was Trevor Lawrence, 23 or 48, 296, 1 touchdown, but 7 sacks in that game. And the
Damn.
question I have for the pod here is, who will be the odd team out in the NFC West? And I'll toss it up to our resident NFC West team here, Tony with takes.
Well, you mean besides the Cardinals, right?
Yeah. They're relevant. They're relevant.
Yeah, so the Niners, Rams, Seahawks, all 5-2.
Yes.
So tough division. It's always been a good division historically, and it's looking that way again this year. And I'm a Niners fan, right?
Mhm.
But we have the most problems. Like, we have to worry the most out of those 3 teams. So 3 games in a row now, we lost our best defensive player. And we know Nick Bosa is out for the season. 3 weeks ago, he got injured. The week after that, Fred Warner, the best middle linebacker in football, out for the season. Bryce Huff shows out in this game against Atlanta, which I thought was going to be really tough. I was really proud of us for pulling it out and winning that game. Bryce Huff was the reason we won that game. And he gets injured in that game, and now he's out. So we cannot keep going. We can't keep this up. Like, it is impossible to keep winning games. So, again, what is it always? Every single week we talk about the Niners, and what is it? Injuries. And another key injury. At this point, I don't even know how we're going to get to the quarterback. Like, it's just,
Someone needs to sprinkle holy water on that whole stadium.
dude, I know, man. I don't know what is going on. It's just out of control. And then Christian McCaffrey, the guy who's been hurt for the last 3 years, a bunch, it gets 40 touches a game, and he's the most healthiest player on the team. Like, it's just weird.
Dude, he's the last straw. If he
Oh, no, then it's over. But also, he will be, though, if we keep giving him 40. Now that's a product of because our receivers are so injured. So it's kind of like, everything funnels to him, which makes sense, right? We have nobody else. I mean, we're rolling out, 4th, 5th stringers. We're getting a little bit healthier on the offense, but still, it's just a disaster, man. And I'm proud of us with 5-2. We beat the Rams already. We beat a good Falcons team last week with all those injuries. I just don't think we can sustain it. Like, I don't see us winning a playoff game without those guys, So we're probably the odd man left out. Now I don't think Seattle and the Rams are great, but they have less problems than us right now. I'll say that for sure. The problem is another problem. Those problems aren't going to go away from us. So it sucks. Because if at least we can get healthy at the end of the year and make a run, it would be great. But they're not coming back, man.
Tony, I feel for you, man. I mean, if that team was healthy, I mean, looking at the competition that you have, I mean, how is it that you could actually vote against the Niners actually winning that division? But those, man, you have such key injuries. Oh my gosh, it's just devastating.
Most players on
Warner
IR in the league. Again.
that was huge. I
No, it's terrible.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm never gonna root for the Niners, but at the same time, when that happened, my heart went out to you. I was like, oh gosh, dang, that's a dagger. So I'm sorry, my friend. That was bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're used to it. 3 years ago, we were healthy that whole year, and what happened? We went to the Super Bowl. Should have won the Super Bowl too, but that's
Shanahan
definitely
screwed
a
that up.
conversation for another day.
Yeah, we actually kind of a little bit about it. So what do you think is the root problem there? I mean, is it the training? Is it the field?
I don't know, man. We get hurt everywhere, though. I mean,
I was going to say, they get hurt at home and on the road.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
do think we need to. I do think the owner needs to bring in some sort of like what's the equivalent of a security control assessor for training programs? They need one of them to go up in there and see what the hell is going on. What is their routine like? Yeah, if I'm an owner, I'm doing something like that.
Technical.
I can tell you what happened with my Broncos. It was a few years ago, and they were actually snake bit, just like you guys. Where they were losing players left and right, and they just could not get anything going, and they were losing players like hand over fist. And what it was is it turned out to be the training staff. And the regiment actually had.
I remember you talking about that last pod.
I firmly believe that is what you need. Is they actually need to get a different type of training regimen.
I don't even know, like, I don't know the training staff and, like, how long they've been there, but if we have the same training staff that we did last year, that's the first fucking problem, like, why are they still there?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking is the problem, would be my guess. But, I mean, who am I? I'm just a guy. So.
Well, I hate to, so to answer your question, Hater, yeah, we can move on. Unfortunately, I think it's us, but, because of all the circumstances.
All right. Does anybody else have anything to add on this?
Good here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what everybody else has said. If you look at their point diff, the San Francisco 49ers are the lowest. They've allowed the most points, and they've scored the least amount of points of those three teams. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before it catches up to you, unfortunately.
Sounds like my fantasy team.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Well, all right. We'll move to the next game. The number one, how, I don't know. Philadelphia Eagles went to the Minnesota Vikings, and they took care of business 28-22. Jalen Hurts put on the show in this game. He actually proved that he could throw the ball. 19 for 23, 326, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, only three sacks. Carson Wentz, on the other hand, became Carson Wentz. The ghost of Carson Wentz came back. 26 for 42, 313, and 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. The question I have for the pod here is, who will be the reason the Eagles do not go back-to-back? Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley?
I think
the Detroit
coaching.
Lions.
I think, yeah. Well, I think coaching too. They can't seem to figure it out how to actually put it together. They're going one side or the other. They're either running the ball 100% or they're passing the ball 100%. I mean, look at it. Saquon Barkley, how many how many grabs did he get this last game? He almost got, 40 yards, something like that? I mean,
Saquon had 1 reception in this game.
Well, they did.
Absolutely goes
They
bananas.
were stacking the box, though, man, because they didn't trust Jalen Hurts to throw the ball.
When you throw 3 bomb touchdowns, and that's the drive's over. There is no more touches available on that drive. So
my point is that they're losing creativity. I mean, they're not mixing it up. They're not, they're taking the guesswork out of the game. I mean, I think that at some point teams are going to start figuring shit out.
Do you remember this happened last year when we said the same shit about this team, and they had a game like this right around the same time, week 8 or not, whatever it was right around the same time. And then all of a sudden they just kept getting better and better. And we saw what happened. So I'm going to count them out. Yeah. And I'm not saying you guys are, but.
Oh no, I'm not counting them out. In fact, that whole division is fucking weird, just because, I mean, especially, with Washington, Jaden Daniels going down, And I know that McLaren is actually coming back, and Debo is likely coming back, but who's going to fucking throw to him? And then
Marcus Mariota, buddy.
Yay.
who's going to throw to him?
Right. Their defense is old, and they play old.
Dallas, they're freaking schizophrenic, because they have one of the best offenses in the league, but then they have one of the worst defenses in the league.
And apparently they're looking for a pass rusher. Gee whiz.
I think the joker in that division is the Giants. To be honest with you, I think that Dart is for fucking real. I really do.
There. We'll get there.
Scatterboo,
we'll talk about it.
He actually suffers his third CTE. I think that he's a beast.
Okay, we'll get there, but let's just stay on task with this game because we're running out of time. Unfortunately, I hate to cut you all off.
The answer is Hurts. It's absolutely Hurts. I've said this before. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I think he holds the ball too much. Like last year, the number of times he was sacked was like a career high. He refused to throw the ball away. They don't make him pass very often. He's just a game manager.
Dude, but did you see him? But like when they give
it is what it is, man. I see what I see. And that's what I see out of Jalen Hurts.
Did you see the fucking game? Did you see the game? Like, dude, he was amazing. Sometimes I don't think it's him. I just think they play conservatively too much.
But a lot of times, but my point is though is because they know what his limits are.
Well, he wasn't limited in that fucking game. I'll tell you that. He wasn't limited in the Super Bowl against a really good defense
twice.
The guy has never thrown for 4,000 yards or 25 touchdowns in a season. He's not.
They just don't play that way.
He threw for 39. He threw for almost 3,800 yards last season. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but that's not 4,000.
Yeah.
You came close. So if you don't throw 4,000 yards and you still throw over 3,500, that's a shit season? Come on, man.
I'm not saying it's a shit season. He won a Super Bowl. I'm just saying he's not an elite QB.
We'll talk about him again next week.
If they don't go back to back, and you got to pick somebody to blame, it's him.
I will say the only thing I disagree with partially is the fact I think it's going to be on Saquon Barkley. He's averaging 3.3 yards a carry. I'm sorry. I know they're loading up the box on him, but the thing is, those big, huge runs he had last year definitely contributed to his 2,000-yard season. And I understand you don't expect expect for him to do that all the time. I get it.
Offensive line isn't as good as it was last year. But
yes, and unfortunately, because he can't run the ball like that, they can't push their way into I'm sorry, you can't enema play your way into victory. So and I feel like, and again, I know I keep bringing this up, but at some point, Saquon's going to think, man, I'm having a tough season this year, but I could have been a record holder last year.
No, you got a Super Bowl, and they go to playoffs, so they'll be fine. But what's the next game?
Next game, it was the number 4 Green Bay Packers go to the number 18 Arizona Cardinals, and they got the victory somehow, 27-23. But the question I have for the group is, are you guys as a pod, are we out on Marvin Harrison Jr. at this point?
Not as a producer right now, but not as a player. Like, I think if he was on another team, I still think he's talented. If he's on another team, I think he thrive. I think he could thrive. You know what I mean? I think he's good.
I think Angry Joey should talk about Trey McBride.
That's what.
Well, no, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, Jesus.
But I mean, as far as Marvin Harrison is concerned,
he's supposed to be the generational talent now. Okay,
I'm with you on this one, Tony. I mean, so what's he supposed to do? I mean, he has a quarterback that can't see over the fucking offensive line. I mean, so you put him with a Justin Herbert or somebody like that.
But are we sure about that? Because he has a different quarterback now, right? And he's still not producing. Now, conversely, you have Jamar Chase, who we know is all world. He's had 3 different quarterbacks this year, and he's still balling. So what's Marvin Harrison Jr.'s problem?
Well, okay, so I don't know. I don't think that Marvin Harrison is the problem. I just don't. I think that he's an elite talent. I really do. I think he's really, really good at his craft. I mean, if he needs to scrub up his drops, but at the same time, I think he needs to have a better passer.
I think
Hold on,
Tony
wait,
McKay said it right.
wait a minute. He's a receiver. What's a receiver's job again?
Well, once again, he needs to shore up some of those drops. I mean, but at the same time, he also needs to have a better passer. That's just my opinion.
Well, unfortunately, his contract will dictate that he's going to remain for a good while. So he better get it together regardless.
Yeah.
Next game.
All right, next game, the number 10 Indianapolis Colts, aka Mr. Raiders side piece, went
That's
to
talk
the
to us
Los
shit
Angeles
already, dude.
Chargers and took the victory 38-24. Daniel Jones, man, he did it again.
Keep it going.
34, 288, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 16
Did it again.
for 94, 3 touchdowns. But the question I have for the pod is, how can the AFC West prevent the Chiefs from making the playoffs? The reason I bring this up is right now the Chargers are 4-3, the Broncos are 5-2, and the Chiefs are also 4-3. But right now, if the playoffs started today, they would not be in the playoffs.
Well, the answer is they're not going to prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all know it's going to happen. The Broncos and the Chargers are going to shit the bed. The Chiefs are going to win the division, probably go to the Super Bowl. Like, nobody's even that good in the AFC. And don't give me the Colts. Sure, they're good right now. I don't see the Colts beating the Chiefs in the playoffs, though.
No, I don't do that. Yeah. But I honestly, the Colts are they're basically hanging on. They're hanging on to Jonathan Taylor. As long as Jonathan Taylor's there, they have a shot. But if he gets hurt before the playoffs start, they're going to fall off a cliff. The question is, how many wins will they have before that happens? But hey, Mr. Raider, this is your side piece. What you got to say about him?
Side piece, well, makes you think of all the crazy times you had. But especially when your main piece is starting to act up. But no, I mean they're doing it the right way finally. But I agree. I think this is fool's gold. I don't think anybody's getting past the Chiefs. I really don't.
Yeah, the Chiefs look good. They put an ass whooping on the Raiders. Sorry,
Yeah,
Oh, that's what happened.
Chilling with no
Spades,
injuries.
yeah. And now they get a free square this week because they play the Commanders, but Jay Daniels is not going to play. So
Yeah.
God, I can't
Ain't that
stand
some
it.
shit? Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, some nonsense. All right. And our last game from last week was the number 5 Tampa Bay Bucks on a Monday night, went to Detroit to take on my number 3 Lions, and they ran into a buzzsaw, 24-9. What can I say? Jahmyr Gibbs, tip of the cap to you, sir. 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 3 for 82, like that marvelous run that he had. Oh my God. Woo! But Baker Mayfield, 28 for 50, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, overthrew everybody. I guess he thought, all of his receivers were Mike Evans. Unfortunately for him, and this is no joke, shout out to Mike Evans. He had an unfortunate injury in this game, broken collarbone, which ended his bid to, and concussion.
On the same way.
Yes. And it ended his bid to break Jerry Rice's record for consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, the man is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah,
100%.
Gave a career to Johnny Manziel and then was able to be a key contributor once Tom Brady got to the Bucs. So, but tip the cap to him. But back to this game, just real quick. The Lions had absolutely bunch of bumblebee tunas in the secondary. Like all 3 corners, both safeties were all replacement level players, and they played their butts off.
And Rocky Sin got hurt in the game.
Yes. So I mean, it was just an amazing performance. It was absolutely had to have after the debacle against the Chiefs last week. And we're not in video form today, but I am wearing a Brian Branch jersey today as a middle finger to the NFL for suspending Brian Branch. But But I'll pass it on to you guys with this question: will injuries ultimately cost the Bucks a successful playoff run?
Probably.
Will take having
At this
have it.
point, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, think about Chris Goodwin, Mike Evans, Abuka. That he's missing his first, second, and third option
Bucky
at wide
Irving.
receiver. Bucky Irvin's down. Yeah, that's not even going into like the lines that of all the people they're missing. So yeah, they're facing the same thing that the 49ers are facing right now, which is they're beat up. So that I think that Baker Mayfield was able to pull some Baker magic and keep them afloat in a lot of games, but they've been winning by the skin of their teeth. And I think that they're just it's when they play a good team like the Lions, they they're they're going to feel the impact of all these injuries, and it shout out to the Lions. They put a whooping on Tampa Bay, and not much more you can say about it. That I wish they were healthy because I love this team. I think it's a fun team to watch. So we'll see.
I also appreciate the free lunch too.
What you talking about? I didn't know you had lunch on this one.
Yes, you did, sir.
No, I thought I owed you lunch on something else.
No, it was
Either
this
way,
game, sir.
okay. Well, I'll buy you lunch, whatever.
Your quote was, "You owed everybody else a lunch, so why not add me to
Man,
the
I'm
list?"
still waiting on my lunch, hater.
Hey, you gotta show up, man. I mean,
I'm just
you
kidding.
name the time and the place. I mean, well, hold on.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. I'm
I
good.
was gonna,
Keep going.
I was gonna say name time and place, but
Be careful.
right. Yeah, no, within reason.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
All right, so that takes care of week 7. So now,
Oh, horse shit. And I'm going to give you a big fuck you there, angry, or excuse me, hater with facts. The
What?
fact that you're going to gloss over the greatest game that's ever been played.
Oh God.
Okay, sir, I was going to get to that as we cover our week 8 games of the week because I have a special nickname for this particular game. But hey, if you want to go ahead and talk about it, that's fine. We can go ahead and talk about the miracle on Mile High Street, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to beat the New York Giants 33-32, in which Bo Nix dug his team out of the hole that he created and saved the day.
I
But
mean, he did a Baker.
yeah, he pulled a Baker, he pulled a Tim Tebow, actually.
You're
He
welcome,
actually pulled
okay.
Tim Tebow. But
However it
no,
happens, man. I'm just saying.
oh,
Okay, so the funny story. So I actually had some friends come over for a barbecue on Sunday, right? So they got to see both sides of me. Yeah, okay. So the first one was when the Giants actually threw their first touchdown to their tight end, and he was left completely alone. And I was dropping some not so kind language very, very loudly, so that my wife and her friends could actually hear me very, very vividly. And then, of course, as they were fixing to leave, I mean, I came back upstairs to watch the game after I'd pretty much resigned myself to the fact that the Broncos were going to lose, to find out that they were actually within striking distance. And when they actually pulled off that last second field goal, with 2 seconds left on the clock, they got to hear another set of expletives, but just in a different tone. So it was a pretty special weekend.
I can imagine.
I guess.
No, I
But-
think they were down 24 with 5 minutes left or something like that, and came back to win. I don't think any team's ever done it. It was something
not
like that.
Yeah,
It's never-
it's miracle of all miracles. Like,
They actually had, okay, so if I'm not mistaken, they were actually, it was the first time in NFL history, well, yeah, NFL history, that a team has actually been down by more than 3 touchdowns, going with 0 points going into the fourth quarter, come back and win it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Congratulations, good game.
I kind of figured that it was a little bit of poetic justice, given the fact that the only 2 losses that the Broncos have were because of last second field goals. One was to, of course, the Chargers, and the other one was to the Colts. Otherwise, the Broncos would be undefeated.
sure. Yeah, we'll let you roll with that. But I have some questions for you later on. But we gotta get to the week 8 games of the week, and we
Yeah,
start.
go through them quick.
Yes, we start with the number 15 Vikings. They go to the Los Angeles Chargers, and then they number 8 this week. The Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite still, and they play on Thursday night. I really don't know how I'm going to call this because I believe Carson Wentz is going to start again for the Vikings.
Yeah.
And the Chargers defense is still injury riddled. And I don't know. I can't trust Carson Wentz. I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I really can't call a score. I'm thinking 21-17. I really don't know. It's a Thursday night, but yeah, I can't trust Carson Wentz, man.
I agree with you there, Hater. I don't, as much as I hate to admit, I think that Herbert, he's starting to click. Wentz, I don't really trust very, very much. I mean, it really sucks, because when you have Justin Jefferson right on the other side, but at the same time, I mean, I'm going to go with the Chargers too. I'm going to say 24-18, whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one by a touchdown.
I'm going to go Chargers too. They likely get Joe Alt back to shore up that line. Carson Wentz terrible. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback of the Vikings soon.
Yeah, I'll agree. I think Chargers by 7. So 27-20 Chargers.
But the
Second
next game is number 20 Bears at number 10 Ravens. Ravens coming off the bye where, they had all the injuries before the bye and have looked terrible. So I think this is a get-right game for the Ravens. I don't think the Bears
What's the
are
spread?
very good, and so I'm going to take the Ravens to start to get their season on track here. What about Angry Joey?
So I haven't checked yet. Is Lamar Jackson back in the game?
Okay, that's what we don't know. Obviously, my prediction predicates on that, but it looks like it's likely, but not a guarantee.
That's the
Just
big.
assume he does. Let's just assume he does.
Okay,
'Cause we
so
don't know.
assuming he does, then definitely the Ravens. I agree with you, Tony, that the Ravens, they're a proud organization. Not to say that the Bears aren't. But at the same time, and not only that, but it's suspected that DeAndre Swift might be out for this next week. So I mean, that's half their backfield. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'm going to say 17-10.
Wow, low score. Okay.
For me, I'm going to assume that Lamar is going to be in for this game. So I think he's going to come back with a vest here. I got it 24-17. They're gonna at least wake up partially. And to be quite honest with you, Caleb Williams has not looked good, even coming off after the bye, which doesn't bode well to me. And especially if Angry Joy is right and DeAndre Swift is not going to play as well, which means you're gonna have to depend on Caleb Williams even more, and he's not producing like he should. So I think this could be a get right situation for the Ravens.
What's the spread?
The spread is the Ravens is 6.5 favorites right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be my upset pick, so I'll wait on this one.
What the?
We'll pick.
Well, I was going to pick Chicago. So I think the Bears are going to upset the Ravens. I mean, Chicago, they're on like a 4-game winning streak. Ravens are on a 4-game losing streak, something like that. And they don't even know if they're going to have Lamar back. So,
Well, we're assuming here that he's back.
well, I'm going to assume that he's either not going to be there, or if he is, he's going to be rusty after being out for so long. So I'm going to go Chicago wins 24-21.
Next game is the number 9 49ers. They are going to the number 19 Texans. The Texans are right now, they are 1.5-point favorite currently. It was the 49ers. They were a 1-point favorite at first. So the odds have shifted a little bit. The Texans, they came off of, I would say, quite an embarrassing loss in Seattle on Monday night. And the 49ers took care of business against Atlanta. So, well, look, it's basically Texans offensive line versus the 49ers, defense as depleted as they are, but Robert Saleh knows how to get the most out of his players on defense. And the Texans just don't have any answers on the offensive line at all. So I'm going to take the 49ers here. I'm taking them beating the Texans, I would say 30-20.
Hmm.
Angry Joey.
Oh man, this game is a little intriguing. Okay, so just because the actual depletion of San Francisco, I got to go with Houston. I'm going to say Houston. I think it's going to be a low scoring game just because everybody seems to be lacking aside from McCaffrey, some offensive weapons. So I'm going to say 21-17 Houston.
I think this is going to be a field goal fest. I really do. I mean, CJ Stroud looked awful last weekend. So, but I got it 12-15.
So you know how I was saying earlier that I don't know how we're going to get to the quarterback? Well, this is the test. It's probably the worst offensive line in football. If we can't get to the quarterback in this game, we're fucked. So, we'll take care of business though with McCaffrey. Kittle's back healthy. Maybe we even get Pearsall. We'll take care of business. It'll be a low scoring game though. I think we win like 24-10. Maybe no Nico Collins too. That would be very good for us.
Yeah,
Yes, that's true.
I've got the 49ers pulling out the win. I got a little bit closer than you, though. I got it 24-21, 49ers. But I don't know what's going on with Texas. They're horrible on defense, so I'm going to give it to the 49ers this week.
Surprising, right? You would think that, I don't know. I thought the Houston defense was going to be better this year.
Oh, they're good. It's just that now
it's
they're
their
being
offense.
their offense can't stay on the field and
Yeah.
sustain drives. So now it's exposing their defense now.
Yeah, that defense is
That's
talented.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. So our next game, I call it the Fraud Bowl. It is the number 21 Dallas Cowboys going to the number 11 Denver Broncos. The Broncos are a 3.5 point favorite. And the reason why I say is this, I call this the Fraud Bowl because we're going to see who is the true fraud. Is it the Cowboys and their anemic defense and their superior offense, or is it the Broncos with their topsy-turvy quarterback Bo Nix, or will the defense have to carry him or potentially carry them, even though they have been underperforming for the majority of the season? Now, because it's a home game for the Broncos, and defense is supposed to travel, but unfortunately, the Cowboys left their defense in Dallas. So I am going to say that the Broncos, because they have to keep up in the AFC West and keep the Chiefs as bay and as long as possible. I'm going to give the win to the Broncos here. I think it's going to be a shootout. 35-30 Broncos.
All right. Hater, I couldn't agree more. I think it's going to be a shootout just because the Broncos defense has not been what it was supposed to be. They need to pick it up. I don't have any answers, especially in the run game. And now that they're actually going against Javonte Williams, who might actually have a chip on his shoulder from being cut from the Broncos, I think that he might actually have a game. But at the same time, the Broncos have always seemed to have the Cowboys number over the last few contests that they've actually had. And since it's in Denver, it's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. And because last time I went against my Broncos, I ended up having to eat shit over that one, But so I'm going to go with the Broncos 37-34, because I agree with you. I think it's going to be a shootout, with the Dallas defense and the Broncos offense. I think it's going to be a weird paradigm there,
Yeah, I have. I'm gonna go a little different direction. I'm gonna go with Cowboys. I'm gonna say the Cowboys are gonna win it 35-27.
Nice. Okay, so the only reason I'm picking the Broncos only because they're at home. I think it's like probably the most fun game of the weekend, so I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm going Broncos by like 3.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos 28, Cowboys 16. I think that. Yeah, I think Denver's defense has been. If you take away the the Giants game and you look back, they've been pretty stingy on defense. So if you're asking me to pick a pretender, I'm going to say it's definitely the Cowboys. So I think the Broncos will comfortably win.
All right.
Interesting.
All right. So our last game of the week is on Sunday night. The Green Bay Packers, who are number 4 this week, they go to the number 16 Pittsburgh Steelers. We already know what the highlight of this game is going to be. Aaron Rodgers gets to play one of his teams, so he gets to be petty, as he likes to be. The Packers are a 3-point favorite right now. Look, I have come to the conclusion of my thesis that the Green Bay Packers are fraudulent as hell. And even though Michael Parsons got 3 sacks last week, I don't see him doing it again, even with old-ass Aaron Rodgers. Now, between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I would love a meteor to fall on the stadium, but we already know that's not going to happen. So I got the Steelers taking this, and I think because Aaron Rodgers is petty, I think he's going to try to blow them out. So I'm going 38-24 Steelers.
Angry.
Angry Joy?
This is going to be an emotional game. I kind of have to semi disagree with Hader there. I'm actually going to go with the Packers on this one. I think that Micah Parsons is going to play pissed. I think that the locker room on Aaron Rodgers is starting to fold because of some of the nonsense and some of the headlines that we've actually been seeing about what he's been doing to his own teammate. I think they're starting to quit on him. Especially if the offensive line starts to quit on him. I actually see this as a low scoring game. I'm going to see 17-13 Packers.
I like that take. I got this as a defensive game from the Packers. I think they're going to show up and they're going to want to whoop that ass and send a message to Aaron Rodgers. And I think Michael Parsons is going to want to have something little to say about that. So I got it. I got a 24-17 Packers.
Okay, I don't think the Steelers are very good. They've beat a lot of shitty teams. Their schedule now starts to get hard. So we'll see how good they are. The Packers are starting to get more healthy, and I think the Packers win by like 10.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Steelers are, or I don't think the Steelers are that good this year. Did you say Packers or Steelers?
Steelers, I don't think they're very good.
Yeah. So I agree, and I detest Rodgers. So maybe I'm doing it with my heart, but I'm hoping Green Bay wins. 23-20.
Oh my God, I hate you guys. Y'all got me the only ones going to. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh God.
Hater.
crazy.
I mean, my God,
Oh.
you're starting to sound like a Aaron Rodgers lover there, buddy.
Absolutely. No, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now. Absolutely not.
I'm gonna have to go back to some of these other podcasts that we have recorded and playing back to you, buddy.
Hey, you better calm down, or I start accusing you of being a Raider lover. Now stop it.
Oh,
Calm down.
What are you throwing strays for? Leave
Hey,
the
man.
Raiders out of this.
Hey man. Hey, that Bronco dude start talking shit. You leave me alone.
The
Anyway,
Raiders have nothing to do with it.
well, you're right, because they ain't got much to do with anything. But we're just gonna
Goddamn
move
right.
on. So that brings us to our sleepers, studs, and upsets. And I'll start with the. Oh wait, so as a recap, right now, Woo Pig is still in the lead with 11 points this week. There is now a 2-way tie for second, with Angry Joey and Mr. Raider are both tied with 9 points.
Yeah.
Tony
All
Matex
you guys
is
should have asterisks because your picks are fucking pussy.
Oh,
You know?
damn.
Ooh, I'll take this cornerback who's ranked 11th. Ooh.
wait. Okay.
Go ahead, Hater.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me finish the recap, sir. Thank you. Tony Wood takes you are technically in third place with 8 points, and I'm still in the basement with 6. So we'll start with the current champ right now. Woo Pig, give us your picks.
So my sleeper is, and I'm gonna murder this name, but Kyle Monongai. Yeah,
Manungai. Yep.
Monongai. So yeah, he just had a breakout game with his first touchdown and career high in rushing yards. he could be in line for more work because DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson are both banged up. They might both be out for the game. I think Roshan's got a back issue. So if that's the case, that leaves Kyle up. Yeah, it leaves him as the lead back. So I mean, Baltimore's defense is tough, but if he sees the majority of the touches, he could sneak into the top 12 easy. So that's my sleeper. My stud is Jackson Dart. He's been on fire lately.
Oh my
He's even
God.
qualified.
Yeah,
Mother.
he
See, that's
he
how he's
does.
number one, bro. This is some bullshit.
Hey, he's
Jackson
outside
Dart.
he's outside the rankings, man. So I'm gonna choose Jackson Dart. He's had
We got to modify the
consecutive
rules.
we've had consecutive top 5.
I've been saying that about
finishes.
quarterbacks, man. It's silly.
He's just
Hey.
following the rules, man.
The
I mean,
council
Hey,
will gather after the season. We have to roll with the rules as they are.
sounded
Alright,
like
so
a true commissioner right there, man.
I know, golly. Anyways, yeah, so I think he's gonna have a good game. So I'm putting him as my stud. And then my dud, I've got AJ Brown. I believe that the last time he played New York, he was held for six carries or 6 for 80 yards. So I think that they're gonna try and do the same thing. They're gonna bracket down on him and try and make Hurts look elsewhere for his passing volume. So that's who I'm picking for my dud of the week.
Upset.
Oh, my upset is the Chicago Bears over the Baltimore Ravens.
Cool.
All right. Well, since Angry Joey, you had the most points last week to tie up with Mr. Ritter, so you go next.
Okay, so for my stud, I actually have J.K. Dobbins. For my stud, I actually have J.K. Dobbins going into Dallas. I think that it's
damn it.
anybody in there, any kind of offensive player that you have going in there, whether it be whoever, but I have Dobbins actually running all over the Cowboys. My dud, let's see here. I have. I'm gonna butcher his name, but Aduze. I think that he's especially if he actually if hopefully DeAndre Swift comes back, but if Rome actually sees the field, it's only going to be because DeAndre Swift is going to be out. So I actually have him as my dud. It's more of a bet than anything else.
He's a receiver.
Oh,
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, my bad.
God,
Damn.
what's with the
dude.
hostility? Jesus.
Jeez.
All right. Edit that shit out. Right. Fuck you. All right. My sleeper that I have is Michael Pittman. I think that
You
they're
just
gonna
had a sleeper. What the hell's going on?
no, I have my
No,
dud.
J.K. Dobbins is a stud.
No, I had my stud was Dobbins. My dud is
Okay. Sorry.
yeah, and my sleeper is Pittman. All right, and then my upset pick that I have for the week is the Jets over the Bengals. What? Yep, I think that they're gonna finally break out of their shell. They have to. I mean,
Hey,
where else to go but
Tyrod Taylor to the rescue.
yeah? Where else to go but up? I mean,
But
my
Garrett
goodness.
Wilson's not playing.
Well, for the last 2 weeks, they've only scored 13 points. Okay, so I just have.
So you're gonna pick him.
What the fuck? I mean, might as well shoot
Okay.
for the stars.
All right.
That's my pick.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead,
All right.
Tony.
So we got 6 buys this week, so it's kind of weird and all over the place. But my sleeper is Romeo Dobbs, facing the 4th best matchup for receivers in the Steelers. Last week, a 90% snap share because that receiving core is banged up. That's high for Packers receivers, so he'll be on the field all the time. Give me Romeo Dobbs as my sleeper. My stud is Cortland Sutton. One word: Cowboys. Start all your like Angry Joey said, just start all your players against Cowboys. If you have Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin on a week where there's 6 buys, you can fucking start them too. Okay, and my dud is Jalen Waddle. So he's ranked really high, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's so many bye weeks, teams on bye this week, but he's facing Atlanta in the 2nd worst matchup for receivers. So he's going to see a lot of AJ Terrell because he's kind of the only guy, so they should be double covering him. I don't think he has a very good game.
Jalen Waddle is like 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
he's
are you
way
looking
down
at?
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, really? I saw
Yeah.
where I saw him. He was ranked 10th.
I got him at 19.
No.
All right, I'll
Um,
get you a different. I'll get you a different
Hey,
dud then.
hey, you could go with Derrick Henry. He's back in the top 12.
Oh,
No,
Jesus.
I'm not doing that.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right,
I could
and
have,
then
I
I
could have
think
made that my dad, but I think your head would have exploded. So
Yeah.
so
I
I almost
think
went Derrick Henry.
yeah, I know, because I mean, come on, we want this to be a little helpful. Like you're not benching Derrick Henry. I don't care. You
Right.
know, like you're not
Yeah.
benching motherfuckers.
So to be fair, I'm actually seeing Jalen Waddle being ranked at 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
see?
just said that. They just said that, Angry Joey.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I missed
The
it. I'm
fuck?
sorry.
All right. I think when we
I-
talked about it, so my upset special, I think when we talked about the teams, I said Denver over Cowboys, but Cowboys are underdogs in that game. I'm going to take the Cowboys over the Broncos as my upset.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'll give mine while you figure out what your new dud of the week is going to be. All right. So my sleeper of the week is Kayshon Boutte or Booty, with however you want to pronounce it. I
It's
feel like
Booty.
he's had rapport with
He even
Drake May.
says it.
Yeah. Oh, he says Booty.
Yes,
Okay.
he confirmed it's Booty.
Okay. All right. So Kayshon Boutte, I think the rapport with Drake May is going to continue, and I think he'll be a valuable fantasy asset this week. My stud of the week, I think we're all in agreement here. It's also J.K. Dobbins for me for the same reason. The Cowboys can't stop the run just like they can't stop a cold. So I need points. So I'll go ahead and take that. My dud of the week is Justin Herbert for the Chargers. I think I think the bottom is falling out with the Chargers right now, and I think Justin Herbert, like, he put up 400 yards last week, but I think that the Vikings are going to come in and Brian Flores is going to shut him down. So that's my pick there. And then my upset pick of the week is the 49ers over the Texans.
Okay. All right. So for mine, my sleeper is going to be Quentin Johnston. My stud is going to be. Let's just do Saquon Barkley then.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Saquon Barkley as what? Your stud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, good luck with that. They're playing against the Giants.
I believe Tony takes that at best. A bunch of y'all are pussies when it comes to picking stuff. So I'm trying to go out there and do what I got to do. I feel you on that, Tony, with takes.
What?
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
you know
so
what? You
the
got
other
a lot of
pick,
nerve. Go ahead.
the other one I have, it would be is I have Michael Pittman as my dud.
Ooh.
Then
Your
my
upset?
upset pick was going to be the Bears. That was my upset pick.
All right. Tony with takes. Do you have a new dud now?
This isn't going to be very helpful, but give me Justin Jefferson.
Ooh,
Carson Wentz.
all right.
Carson Wentz is so terrible that they looked really bad coming off a bye too, which was surprising. And Hader, I think you were gone later, but Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback of the Vikings soon.
So that's it. That's actually kind of
what?
interesting. So
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson
Put it on
being
the
a
board.
third. Does that mean that Justin Jefferson is going to score 15 points as opposed to 40?
Yep. But he'll fall out the top 12.
I'm just playing, man.
Okay. Well, that's our sleeper studs and duds. So we are good here.
Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this up. We're gonna do an Alamo minute and a kiss my grits. Let's just do alphabetical order. Angry Joey.
Nothing for me this week. Thanks, gentlemen.
Hater with facts.
All right. Angry Joey's not going to like this. Sean Payton, we're going to need you to come on down. You get to kiss my grits this week because, first of all, we'll tip your cap, for that miracle win last week. But at the same time, you came very close to costing the Broncos the game because you decided you wanted to spout expletives to the referees while you're trying to play catch up, and you actually cost them a penalty. So you could have easily been the goat of the game, but your team actually saved you. Well, and because of your behavior, one of your defenders decided to want to get in the face of the ref, and now they're suspended for the game against the Cowboys. So great leadership there, Sean Payton. Oh wait, no, you weren't done. You decided you wanted to throw shade at Russell Wilson again. even though he's benched, he's not even playing, and you still want to verbally attack him. That's very low, Sean Payton. Get your act together. And by the way, if you're not careful, the Chiefs are going to end up taking the division from you, and you still have to play them twice. So please get your act together. And for America, take the AFC West. But before you do that, kiss my grits.
Woo Pig?
I'm good this week.
Okay. I don't have anything as far as kiss my grits, but I do have an Alamo minute. I want to shout out Vanguard Vet. Again, no hashtag not a sponsor. They took care of my dog. My dog's been having some health issues lately, and they did a really good job. So appreciate them. Check them out on 281 in Castroville, or 211 in Castroville. All right. Last thing is, hit it with the socials.
All right. You can hit us up on Spotify, Apple, and Overcast at The 210 Show. You can find us on YouTube at The 210 Show Podcast. You can find the description link that has our Discord link where you can join us there. And while you're there, hit that thumbs up button if you decide to take a listen. If you want to leave a comment, you can leave one there. Also on those podcast feeds, you can leave a comment there. We'll greatly appreciate it. And if you want to hit us up by email, there's Jay at the210show.com or me, Hater, H8R with FAQS at the210show.com.
Yep. All right. Well, once again, thanks everybody for listening and support. Shout out to all our listeners across the spectrum, the platforms. We really do appreciate it. And make sure, though, when you're listening to us, that you at least like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Thank y'all. God bless.
Go Lakers.